Welcome to this week's episode of Forgiving the Girl Inside. Today we have the beautiful Jenna with us. She is on a healing journey from hopelessness to joyfully living. I love that. Joyfully living. So, welcome, Jenna. I'm so happy to have you here with us and to hear your healing journey. Tell us some more about yourself.
Sounds good. Well, thank you. So I am from Minnesota and I am from southwestern Minnesota. So real small town, like farm country.
That's gotta be
I'm married.
beautiful, though.
It is really pretty. I'm very thankful that spring is here to get rid of all
Yeah.
that muddy looking snow. But I'm married. My husband's name is Clinton. He is a home builder, and we have two English Springer Spaniels. Their names are Zoe and Lily. And
Aw.
I am crazy about those two girls. Yeah, I love being a dog mommy.
Are they
um,
sisters?
nope, they're not sisters, but they look very, very similar.
And they get
But
along well?
complete they get along really well, but their personalities are very different. So Zoe is like super sweet, wants to snuggle with you, make sure like you're happy. She's sweet too. Like she's a mama's girl through and through, but she's very much full of spunk. And she always looks like she's gonna get into trouble. She just has that like little look in her eye.
Our fur babies are so special. My son's
They
getting a
are.
dog next week. And he's like, Mom, do I get a boy or a girl? Because we already have a girl and she's 10,
Mhm.
little Indy. She's a Yorkie Bichon. And I'm like, he's like, well, I'm nervous because if it's a girl, she might be jealous. If it's a boy, I'm like, he's moving out. He's moving out in August. So
Yep.
he'll be moving. He had a job offer in Minnesota.
Oh,
I was like,
awesome.
you can't go there. It's too far. But
Aw.
so that's beautiful. So tell us what was your journey like before went from hopelessness to this joyfully living. So what was it like before you began your journey?
Yeah, so this was probably about 6 years ago now. My husband and I found out that we are not able to naturally conceive our own children. And it just
Mm.
was really heartbreaking. And we both kind of went on our own healing journeys, but we were definitely like there for each other. But for me, it just put me on this emotional roller coaster ride. And I just was so full of sadness and I felt really alone and kind of lost. I didn't really know like how to navigate through life anymore because it was such a big dream of mine to have my own kids. And the safest place for me was here in my home, laying in my bed. And
Um,
yeah, it was tough. And it's kind of tough even revisiting it too. But yeah, I just remember the days that I had to leave either to run errands or go to my part-time job. Like I would just be so full of like anxiousness and worry. And it was probably 9 times out of 10, I would have an emotional breakdown on the days that I had to leave my home. And so I just really closed myself off to a lot of things during that time. And looking back, I know that that was probably unhealthy, but I think that's really what I needed for myself. And I do remember one day in particular, though, I was laying in bed and I
mhm.
just remember thinking, I don't want to be sad anymore. And I could kind of envision myself like falling deeper and deeper into depression. And I didn't want that for me. And I was really scared that I wouldn't be able to come back from that. And at that time, too, we had a lot of pressure from our families to do this, try that, and just relax, and, all the things. And
Yeah.
we know that they love us and we're trying to support us, but it just wasn't helpful in the moment. And I had one family member tell me, like, you need to get on medication, like, you just need to like hop back into life and get going again. And for me, I'm just somebody who's very much a firm believer in trying natural health first and
Yeah.
then and then kind of exploring modern medicine, but that's where I am. And so I reached out to a friend of mine who also uses essential oils, and she shared with me these 4 oils, and she's like, just give them a try, follow the steps, see what happens for you. And so I did the steps. There were 4 steps every single morning. and I would use them along with affirmations and prayer. And I just could not believe how like it was like a veil was like lifted from my body, and I could like, I don't know, see the light again. And it was just the coolest thing I've probably ever experienced, because I had felt like I was in this dark, sad place, and all of a sudden I was seeing like light again. And that was probably like maybe even the turning point of being able to move forward.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How, you said you did it every single day. You did this for this protocol. How long
Mhm.
before you saw the change? Did it take like a
I
week or?
probably saw it within the first week. Yeah, it was
That's
just such a
amazing.
radical change for me. Yeah. And I later then learned about like journaling, like keeping a gratitude journal. So I
Mhm.
started like creating like my own little morning routine. So I'd use the oils, affirmations, prayer, journaling, and I still do that this till, today now. And it's just, I love that I, have that time for myself right away in the morning.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That sounds like my practice in the morning. I started with a gratitude journal and do the
Hmm.
oils with the gratitude journal, do prayer. I picked up meditation in March. March 1st, I started meditating 10 minutes a day on scripture. I was like, wow, like that is so amazing. And I look forward to that every day. So my me
Hmm.
time went from 30 minutes to 2 hours.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome.
So yeah, I know, and I actually have a vision of you sitting and journaling. So that must be a picture somewhere on your social
Yep.
media.
Yep, it is.
Okay, because you have this big smile on your face, and I that's stuck in my mind, that image, and I see it often because you just have this glow about you, just,
Mm.
and that picture really captures it. I mean, even now you just glow, and
Oh, thank
you just, that
you.
your whole eyes just light up. So it's beautiful. You can tell the joy comes from inside. So after you hit this pivot, what happened then?
I just kind of took each day like one day at a time. And it was probably maybe a little over a year ago, year and a half, is where I
Mhm.
finally got the courage to come out and share with people like what I had been going through. Because up until then, I really kept it to myself. It was like, it's nobody else's business. I don't want to talk about it, don't want to go there. And I think even coming out and talking about, how I lost my hope and how I was sad through our whole infertility process, that it really helped others too. And I was able to create a course then around it as well, so that I can help women kind of rediscover like their sparkle again too, and that they can like really embrace their worth and their joy again, and that, there's light on the other side. And it's just beautiful. I mean, the journey isn't always pretty, going through your healing
No,
journey, but
yeah.
it really is like a beautiful process when you come out on the other side.
Yeah, it is. And reflecting back, what
Mhm.
what would the biggest thing, like if somebody was just starting their journey, what would you tell them to start with?
That it's okay to give yourself permission to grieve.
Mhm.
I like looking back, I know that I should have been more open with people, but the fact that I allowed myself to mourn like the loss of a dream is really what I needed. Yeah. Gonna get like
Oh,
teary-eyed over
that's
here.
beautiful. I know, me too. I just got the chills.
Oh,
Yeah, a loss of a dream. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a hard thing. And I've interviewed 3 or 4 ladies on here that have had similar stories. So yeah, it's definitely a struggle, and so I can feel
Mhm.
that sadness, but yet the joy that you can see, taking and using it as a purpose, taking your pain and making it a purpose, and just relating to others who are in
Yeah.
similar situations. So tell us about the course that you've written. It's online and it's
Yes. Yep. It's an online course. It's called Restore Your Hope. And I take basically the same steps that I went through. I walk other women through the exact step by step process, so that they can rediscover their hopes and joys, and that they can kind of have like their little aha moment too of, just kind of rediscovering themselves and figuring out what this new season of life looks like for them. And there's women in the course who, have lost their job or a loved one, or have gone through a divorce, or have had similar situations like me. And it's cool that we can all come together and support each other, on this neat, like, restoring of your hope journey.
Yeah, it is amazing to have that community and that support. And
Mhm.
I always have to say it's so nice to have a mentor or accountability partner, someone that can connect with you so you don't have to keep it inside. And I'm glad that you were able to voice it and share. And it must have been really painful when you were going through the process and your family members were just saying, do you guys try this? And and then you get
Mhm.
that other side of it where, oh, you can't have children. Oh, and then that's got to be really heartbreaking too, because it's like,
Mhm.
no,
It
you're
is.
not helping.
Yes,
You are not
exactly.
helping. So,
They mean
well,
well, but
yeah,
it's
they
tough.
do mean well. And it's nice that
Mhm.
you recognize that, because I know that they don't mean harm, but sometimes people, yeah, they're just no filter.
Mhm.
So it's really cool that you created the course in an intent to help women who have gone through the same process as you. But you also included other losses, which is really awesome, because I didn't really connect it that, a loss is a loss, a loss of a dream, or, even if you have something that you had and then now it's gone. And so it's awesome that the course is able to speak to um, people going through different types of losses and not just that one
Mhm.
specific. So I love that. Is the
Yeah.
course like it's online? It's like is it like live coaching? Do you get on or pre-recorded coaching, or is it like a group, Facebook group or anything that goes with it?
Yep, yep. So within the course, there's like video modules that you go through, and then I've got some like downloadable items. So I walk women through how to create their own morning routine, like the benefits of having their own routine. And then we also have a Facebook community too, is where we then kind of come hang out for support and encouragement and kind of like weekly
Awesome.
check-ins. Yep.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey
Yeah,
with us. And
thank you.
it's so exciting. How long have you been on the flip side of it now? You said 6 years with the
Yep.
depression and anxiety, and then, about a week to see a difference in your change, in your attitude, and then you implemented your me time. How long has it
Mhm.
been since you've been on that part of the journey?
Let's see. So 6 years ago was when we first found out, and it probably took me about 4 to 6 months until I kind of reached out to my friend about the oils. And then that's kind of when things started to like, move forward for me. And then about year and a half ago is when I finally was like, okay, I'm gonna share this, on social media, and because I know there's people I can
Um,
help. Yeah.
yeah. So you were stuck for 6 years, and within 6 months, you learned the modality, you acquired a modality that has absolutely transformed you. And it's a
Hmm.
holistic approach, and it's taking some very simple a modality that's customized,
Yes.
specialized, as long as you do it. I love that, a lot of times people think, well, it's a fix, I just need to do this one thing,
Yes.
but it's nurturing. It's like you said, it's
Mhm.
walking with them, it's providing them that support and that community that helps
Yeah.
us, because we're all created for that community. So that's beautiful. So thank you so much
Yeah, thank
for
you.
being here and sharing your story. For our audience, you can connect with Jenna. You can find the links to her information in the comments in the description. And if you know anyone who can benefit from this journey and needs to connect with Jenna, please share the video with them, tag them, whatever you need to do, make sure they get a hold of it. And if you enjoyed this week's episode, be sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell. Every Tuesday, we have a new guest on who shares their healing journey. So thank you and have an amazing day.